General Hospital spoilers. Martin announces Monica's heirs, two people Jason doesn't know about. Port Charles has seen its share of shocking revelations, but nothing could prepare the Cordain family, or Jason Morgan, for what Martin Gray is about to unleash. At the reading of Monica Cordain's will, long-simmering secrets rise to the surface, and two mysterious heirs emerge, people Jason never knew existed. What follows is an emotional, scandalous, and game-changing saga that will forever alter the Cordain legacy. When Monica Cordain passed away, her loss sent shockwaves through Port Charles. As the matriarch of the Cordain clan, Monica carried not only the weight of her family's sprawling fortune but also decades of secrets that even the most diehard GH fans never saw coming. Everyone expected the will reading to be a somber affair where the familiar names Jason, Ned, Brooklyn, Michael, and Drew would inherit parts of the estate. But Monica's foresight ensured that this event would be anything but ordinary. Martin Gray, ever the slick but surprisingly competent attorney, gathered the family in the Cordain mansion's grand living room. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Tracy, ever suspicious and sharp-tongued, sat with her arms folded, expecting a fight. Brooklyn, anxious, whispered with Chase. Michael kept Willow close by his side, while Drew's grief seemed to weigh him down like chains. Jason, stoic as ever, tried to prepare himself for what was coming. But deep down, he knew Monica would never leave without one final twist. The reading began predictably enough. Martin explained that Yelq shares would be distributed among the obvious heirs: Ned, Michael, Brooklyn, Drew, and even Leo, Olivia's son, whose future Monica had always wanted secured. Jason was mentioned, though his relationship with the Cordains had always been complicated. He never sought their fortune, but Monica made sure her son was provided for regardless of his objections. Then Martin cleared his throat and adjusted his glasses. There are additional heirs mentioned in Monica's final will and testament. Individuals that, to my knowledge, none of you were expecting. The room erupted. Tracy's face drained of color, then quickly flushed red with outrage. More heirs? Monica didn't tell me a word about this. Who are these people, and why should they inherit what is rightfully Cordain? Jason's jaw tightened. He leaned forward, silent, but his body language screamed that he needed answers. Martin shuffled the papers, almost enjoying the drama before revealing the names. Martin's voice carried through the tense room. The first additional heir is a woman named Rachel Prescott Cordain. The gasps filled the mansion. Jason blinked, stunned. Who? Martin elaborated. Rachel Prescott was born during Monica's time at Baylor University, before she met Alan Cordain. According to this documentation, Rachel was placed for adoption at birth. Monica later reconnected with her privately, though she kept the relationship out of the public eye. Rachel has been living quietly in Denver, where she's a doctor much like her biological mother. The revelation was seismic. Tracy immediately accused Martin of fraud. This is absurd. Monica would have told us. She would have told me. Jason, however, was silent, the weight of realization heavy on him. All those years Monica held him close despite his rejection of the Cordain lifestyle. Perhaps she had carried another child in her heart, hidden away. Michael, always pragmatic, asked, So, she's our aunt? Martin nodded. Legally and biologically, yes. The shock rippled through the family. A woman none of them had ever met was suddenly a legitimate Cordain heir, and Jason had a sister he never knew existed. If Rachel's reveal wasn't enough, Martin wasn't finished. There is one more name included among Monica's heirs: Alexander Mikos Cordain. The room froze. That name carried a dangerous weight. Alexander. Mikos.
Cordain.
Jason's eyes narrowed, his protective instincts firing. Explain. Martin revealed that in the 1980s, during a turbulent period when Monica's marriage to Alan was on the rocks, she had a brief but intense entanglement with a man tied to the Cassadine family. What Monica never told anyone was that she'd become pregnant during that liaison. The child, Alexander, was quietly sent abroad, raised under strict secrecy, and only recently reconnected with Monica. In her final years, Monica chose to acknowledge him fully as her son. Tracy practically fell out of her chair. A Cassadine? Monica let a Cassadine into this family? Over my dead body. Jason felt his world tilt. Not only did he have a sister he'd never known, but now a brother, with Cassadine blood running through his veins. The family's greatest rival, intertwined with their own legacy. Martin added, Monica made it clear that both Rachel and Alexander are to inherit equal shares with the rest of the Cordain heirs. She insisted on recognizing them not just financially, but as family. Jason rarely shows his emotions, but this time, even he couldn't hide the flicker of betrayal and confusion in his eyes. Monica had been the one constant in his life after his accident. She accepted him as Jason Morgan, not Jason Cordain. And now, he was learning that she had carried these monumental secrets all along. I should have known, Jason muttered quietly to Sam, who had slipped into the room unnoticed. She always carried something she wouldn't share. But this, his voice trailed off, heavy with unspoken feelings. For Jason, the implications were massive. He wasn't just dealing with newfound siblings, he was dealing with a sister whose existence Monica had deliberately hidden, and a brother with Cassadine ties that could make him a dangerous wild card. Never one to back down, Tracy immediately called the legitimacy of these heirs into question. I want DNA tests. I want proof. For all we know, Monica was manipulated into including these strangers in her will. Over my dead body will Yelku fall into Cassadine hands. Ned tried to calm her down, but Tracy wasn't having it. The fiery matriarch declared that she would contest the will, setting up yet another Cordain family war. Rachel, however, soon arrives in Port Charles, a grounded, brilliant physician who shocks everyone with her resemblance to Monica in both appearance and demeanor. Alexander, on the other hand, makes his entrance shrouded in mystery. His Cassadine connection immediately puts Laura Collins, Valentine, and even Nicholas on edge. Could he be a new threat? Or an ally? The ripple effects of Martin's announcement spread quickly through town. Jason grapples with whether to accept these new siblings, torn between his loyalty to Monica's wishes and his distrust of Cassadine's. Drew finds himself drawn to Rachel, who shares his respect for Monica's medical legacy. Tracy launches a campaign to oust Alexander before he can stake any claim on Yelku. Michael cautiously observes, recognizing the potential for Alexander to destabilize Yelku's future. Brooklyn wonders if Rachel's calm intelligence might be the Cordain the family actually needs right now. Even Sonny Corinthos pays attention, because if a Cassadine Cordain hybrid is stepping into the fold, it could alter the balance of power in Port Charles forever. The emotional centerpiece comes when Martin reads Monica's personal letter addressed to her family. In it, she acknowledges her mistakes and her tendency to keep secrets, but insists that Rachel and Alexander deserve a place at the table. Family is never neat. It is messy, it is complicated, and sometimes it is hidden away because we fear the fallout. But family deserves recognition. Jason, Drew, Michael, Brooklyn, Ned, you all must understand that my greatest hope was for you to love as I tried to love you. And that means opening your hearts to those you do not yet know. The room grows quiet, the emotional weight of her words softening even Tracy's icy glare, if only for a moment. This storyline sets up endless drama for the months to come. Will Rachel and Alexander integrate into the Cordain family, or will Tracy's scheming drive them away? Will Alexander's Cassadine ties make him an enemy to Jason and Sonny? Could Rachel become the stabilizing force the Cordains have long needed? And perhaps most importantly, will Jason ever forgive Monica for keeping such seismic secrets? Martin Gray's shocking announcement has redefined the Cordain family tree. Jason Morgan, always the reluctant heir, now faces the reality of two siblings he never knew existed. Rachel Prescott Cordain and Alexander Mikos Cordain are set to turn Port Charles upside down, forcing everyone to question loyalty, bloodlines, and what it truly means to be a Cordain. The fallout from this revelation will dominate General Hospital for months, promising power struggles, emotional reckonings, and explosive confrontations. One thing is certain. Monica's final gift to her family was not peace, it was a storm.